Daily Broadside, day 699. Last night I was riding back with one of the guys that works for me. And we're just sitting there kind of listening to the radio quietly, just riding along. And all of a sudden, he had this ethereal, existential comment of maybe we could, have this deep conversation, I guess. And he looks at me, he's like, hey, do you think that you weigh more when you get an erection? And I was like, it was all I could do to keep the road and the vehicle like within the same plane, because I just wanted to just veer off and just crash into a tree. And I looked at him, I'm like, no, I don't. I was like, where are you going with this? And he's like, oh, I mean, it's just weird, like, if you think about it. I'm like, no, stop. I don't think about it. There's no need for you to think about it. In fact, I tell you what, you need to think about it, because that might be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard somebody say. That's so stupid. That's like if I drink water in my mouth and then I swallow it. Do I weigh more when it's in my stomach or my mouth? I don't even want to talk about this more. In fact, why don't you open the door while we're driving here so I can push you out of the moving vehicle? People are crazy, man. I mean, I appreciate the fact that you try to be deep and we try to, pontificate about, some real parts of the world, just really get down to the gravy of the earth, I don't know what the hell that means. But at the same time, make sure it, has some kind of, meaning and it's kind of based in something we can kind of think about. Like if there's different realms of this universe that one can portal between, I'm cool. We'll talk about that. You know what I mean? But I'm not talking about whether or not you weigh more when the same blood in your body just moves to a different part, okay? And while we're talking about the same type of thing on the same, I saw a video the other day and a girl had on a baseball cap, all right? And across the baseball cap top, it said, throat goat. Now, this is a woman that looked like she was in like her late 20s, early 30s, right? And she's with a dude. And first of all, I got a couple comments. First of all, I would never go out in public with someone, with a girl that wore a throat goat hat, because, I mean, that's like something you would buy at like a Wings or something at a beach store, like something, this is real funny. And you get home and you're like, did I really buy this? Why would I wear this? I mean, grow up, right? First of all. And second of all, I was like, she may be the throat goat, but at the same time, we don't know that, So I got to thinking, I was like, we really need to have some, like standards in the throat goat, universe, and I mean, it goes with guys too, right? Like I don't know what the male equivalent of throat goat is, but somebody that is a black belt in tongue fu, if you know what I'm saying, right? If you're that and you're equivalent to the throat goat, right? You should be able to wear a hat like that, but only if it's been vetted, right? And I got to thinking, I was like, well, how could we vet it? Well, we could have judges. Nah, you couldn't have a judge. A guy would never. I mean, granted, there are women that are not particularly skilled at that, and there are women that are particularly skilled at that. So there are varying degrees, right? But we've got to find an unbiased way. And then I thought to myself, I was like, I got it. Homosexual men, right? They like that, but they don't like women. It's perfect, right? Because the part of the brain with the man is the visual, right? You can't get attached to it because, I'm sure that men would admit that, and I've been with girls that I just really liked, and they weren't the greatest at the throat goat world, but it was passable because everything else about them was really cool, and they were really hot, and that made it exciting and all that stuff. But if you were just to extrapolate that one particular part or skill, yeah, she wasn't hitting on much. But everything else, the whole package was great, so we let it slide, But gay men they wouldn't care about all that. They wouldn't care how pretty she is or, how nice her tits are, nothing like that, right? So they could just sit back, just, like this the whole time and go, right. Hand me that pen. And they can make some notes, and all this. And then they could rate them. And then if you got a high enough score, bam, you get your throat goat hat. And you can actually wear it. And then when you saw it in public, you see somebody in a throat goat hat, you'd be like, oh, TG, 12 o'clock. And then your buddies look over and you're like, okay. Because it's like seeing a cyber truck, like in real life. I saw 2 of them on a flatbed trailer today, and I was like, that's weird. I've seen like 4 of those things total. I saw 2 at the same time today. It would be like that. A throat goat chick in the wild would be like seeing a Cybertruck. Oh, hey, Cybertruck. It's so weird, man, to see one. Like, there it is. Yeah, she's got the throat goat hat. She's got the Cybertruck hat. It would be the same thing, right? But at any rate, and you could do the same thing with with men and gay women. Wait, did I get that right? Whatever the opposite of what I said, you could do the same thing for the tongue fu people, you know, or for men to be able to wear a hat, you would have to get, I'm confused myself, but you know what I'm saying. I watched some chess earlier today. I was watching some people play chess, like on the high level, and, that Magnus Carlsen, impressive, weird kid, you know, but like fascinating to watch his mannerisms on. He's very strange, but for obvious reasons. But Magnus Carlsen, I grew up, you know, in my 20s watching tons and tons of The World's Strongest Man, and I have a hard time reading Magnus Carlsen and then see him play chess, you know. I want to see him like throwing beer kegs over a fence or something, you know, or, you know, lifting the nimble fingers or whatever those big logs were and all. It's just Magnus. When I hear Magnus, I think of 6'8", 412 pounds, you know, some Scandinavian crazy beast of a man, you know, but so it's very strange not to do that. I've decided I'm not going back into the ocean, you know, past like my ankles, right? You know, I was listening to a podcast today about, you know, shark attacks and stuff, and I got to thinking, I was like, you know, it's always a risk when you go in the ocean that you could get attacked by a shark. And it's not that you necessarily would get killed, but what if it chewed off the bottom of your leg or something? Even a little tiger shark or a mako or something, right? And I'm not talking about a great white coming up on the beach, but it's just not worth it, because I think I would be so pissed off if I woke up the next day in a hospital and my left leg was gone, like amputated. First of all, it's a lot of tattoo work that I went through hell to get that is now gone, and we just, I guess, incinerated it in the basement of the hospital. You know, I would be pissed, first of all. Second thing is, I would be more pissed because I'd be like, I lost my leg so that I could walk in water. Like, what? I could fill a bathtub up and just walk around, like, and there'd be no death even potential, or, you know, losing any kind of limbs or anything like that. So it's just not, I just don't think the risk is there. As enjoyable as the open sea may be, it ain't for me. I didn't really mean for that to rhyme, so I apologize in time, that maybe, you know, you'll be off my dime. All right, yeah, have a good one.